Hello, Sun City residents. This is Rusty Bradshaw, and I'm here to give you some highlights from the Sun City Fire District Board meeting this morning. And the board voted to implement a service fee to help bolster their revenue. And the reason that they're doing this, and this is a follow-up to a video I had presented earlier. The reason they're doing this is because they are limited in the revenue that they get. The vast majority of their revenue comes from property taxes, and that's limited. Now, the district already charges a $315.80 service fee for any call where treatment is administered, meaning that they have to administer medication of any kind. What they did today was extend that to all medical calls that do not include a transport by ambulance. In other words, things like if you fell and they have to come and help you up. Other things like that. The service fee is not covered by insurance generally, although there was an indication that that could be changing through some private insurance companies. The service fee was also suggested by Arizona legislators when they met with Chief Rob Schmitz recently to discuss how the funding inequities for fire districts could be addressed. Sun City Fire and Medical Department responds to more than 1,000 medical calls per month. That is way higher than the largest other category of calls, which in December would have been calls of good intent. That's even more than fire calls. In December, there were 30 fire calls. There were more than 1,100 medical calls. So that's putting a lot of pressure on the fire crews. And in a lot of cases, they're on a very low priority call, like picking someone up, when a higher priority call comes in. So there's a lot of overlapping calls. So this is not just a money issue. It's an issue of the pressure on the crews. If they're not having to go to so many low priority calls, that's going to give them the time to go to the higher priority calls. That is one thing that could come from this fee, is reduction in call volume. The other thing that could come from it is increase in the revenue, which would allow the district to bring in more resources, including personnel and equipment, to handle the increased volume. Call volume in the Sun City department has continually gone up every year. They're calling to about 15,000 calls per year, and that is increasing. I recall several years ago when I was reporting on the fire district activities for the local newspaper, the medical calls were under 1,000, and now we're talking about over 1,000. And a lot of times the district sends out these calls for repeated incidents of falls. There are times when they're called out for a fall, and the next day they're called out to do a transport because someone refused a treatment. The department also makes calls to care centers because the staff at some of these care centers don't want their staff straining their backs to lift up patients. So they're basically making calls to these care centers who already have staff on hand to take care of these things, but they won't. Now the firefighters and the paramedics in the Sun City Fire and Medical Department are agreeing to this service fee option, but they're doing it extremely reluctantly because their top priority is service to the community. So this is a tough decision for them to have to make to support this. And it's a tough decision for the board to go this route as well, because their top priority is community service to the community as well. But it's something that has to be done. I firmly believe that in the years that I've been covering the fire district, I have seen them strain with revenue for years. It pretty much started in 2008 when we had that so-called recession. I call it a downturn, an economic downturn. And the administrators of the district were very, very excellent in finding ways to keep the service at an acceptable level, even though their opportunities for revenue were dwindling. That included about 4 years, if I remember correctly, where firefighters themselves said, don't give us a raise so we can help you with this situation. So that in itself points to the boots on the ground, making community service to the community their top priority. But at the same time, Sun City Fire and Medical is losing firefighters to other departments because, number one, they pay better. Number two, the workload is not as heavy. Chief Rob Schmitz shared that they've lost 5 firefighters to the city of Goodyear already in this last year. He doesn't want to be losing any more good firefighters because the pay is better or the workload is smaller. That's why they're looking to do this. They've got to have other revenue. Fire districts in Arizona don't get the kind of funding that city departments do, municipal departments. They have a very different funding structure. They have their own ways of adding taxes here and there. Sun City Fire District does not have that opportunity. And when we're in a position like we are now, where those property taxes are a lot lower than they have been historically, that means less money is coming into the district. So they've got to find other ways of funding. This is one of them. It's something that I believe needs to be done. That's just me personally. But if you want to continue to have good service from your fire department, this is a bitter pill to have to swallow. And everybody considers it a bitter pill, from the top administrators in the district on down to the firefighters to residents. That's my report from the fire board. Thank you for watching.